Hey guys, Lawrence Burchett here. So, I'd like to say thank you for the continued support on our videos. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. That'll help us out. Once we get to the 100 subscribers, we're going to go ahead and have an Ask Me Anything live stream, kick those live streams off. If you like today's video, go ahead and hit the like button and ring the bell, so you can get notified every time there's a video comes out. Today's video is going to be about the Bilderberg Group. Now, the Bilderberg Group, they just finished their yearly meeting, or their annual meeting. They finished it on June the 5th, Sunday, June the 5th. It started on June the 2nd. And what they do is the Bilderberg Group gets together every year, well, almost every year. They didn't, I don't know if they did last year or not, but I know they did miss some time for the COVID during that period, which they probably needed to anyway. But I'm going to give you a little bit of history about the Bilderberg Group before we get into anything like they have agendas every year. And like I said, it was Thursday, June the 2nd is when it started, and it ended on Sunday, June the 5th this year. And it was actually in Washington, D.C. this year. So, and there's a long list of participants that actually make it every year from all over the world. Usually it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 120, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 120 people. It's invite only. And there are people such as former presidents, people that were going to be presidents, that all manner of people have been there. So, I mean, it spurs on conspiracy theory, it spurs it on like mad. So, here's a real quick, just kind of a history of it. It is an annual conference established in 1954 to foster dialogue between Europe and North America. The group's agenda, originally to prevent another world war, is now defined as bolstering a consensus around free market, Western capitalism, and its interest around the globe. Participants include political leaders, experts from industry, finance, academics, and the media. And it is numbers between 120 and 150 attendees, and they are entitled to use information gained at the meetings. Where it actually started at, the first conference was held in 1954 in the Netherlands at Oosterbeek. If I mispronounced that, I am so sorry, but it was at the Bilderberg Hotel, and it's a beautiful hotel. And from that point on, that hotel was what gave the group its name, the Bilderbergers, or the Bilderberg Group. And it is an absolutely beautiful structure. And it just looks like something that somebody wealthy would, bunch of wealthy people would hang out at. So I'm going to pull up the website here. Matter of fact, I will go ahead and tell you the name of the website. If you go to bilderbergmeetings.org, you can look up and actually go to the meetings tab up on the top underneath the Bilderberg Meetings title page. And this is the official website. You can click on it and you can go back and look at a bunch of the meetings going all the way back. So it looks like they missed 2020 and 2021 is what it looks like. Due to travel restrictions because of the pandemic. So, meeting 2022. We're going to look at this here. It was in Washington, D.C., and it's the 68th Bilderberg meeting. Now, the key topics for this discussion this year, and they have it listed right here on their website. They're not even trying to hide nothing. The key topics for discussion were geopolitical realignments. So me, if I, not being an educated man, I would say that is like, borders, NATO challenges, China, Indo-Pacific realignment. Now, that one's kind of got me a little bit kind of confused. Sino-U.S. tech competition. I am not sure what that is. Russia. Continuity of government and the economy. Now, why would they need to discuss continuity of government and the economy? I don't really get it. Why they would need to discuss that? Are they expecting some collapse? The next one is disruption of the global financial system. Well, we're seeing some pretty crazy times here, and we've been seeing some pretty crazy times economically, since the pandemic. And then, with the war between Russia and the Ukraine, we've been seeing more, The disinformation is number 9. Energy security and sustainability. Now, what they're talking about there is one thing: oil. And that's one thing that the elite, they worry themselves to pieces. Here a few months back, we talked about scarcity. We even did the video about the Georgia Guidestones. Now, sustainability was a big thing with the Georgia Guidestones. And here we're talking about energy security and sustainability. They're worried about running out of oil. And if they run out of oil, they cannot continue to live the posh lifestyles that they have. Now, that's just my opinion. And my opinion doesn't really account for much, doesn't really mean much. Nobody else really gives two shits what my opinion is, except for maybe you guys. And if you guys do, great. And I want to hear y'all's opinions too. Number 11, post-pandemic health. Now, that is an important one, especially when you talk about there are a lot of people that have had the coronavirus or the COVID-19 that have had lasting effects, and not only lasting physical effects, but there are people that have had lasting emotional effects. I mean, it's really screwed some people up, not only physically but emotionally. Kind of a PTSD type situation. So that would be a fairly important discussion to have. Number 12, fragmentation of democratic societies. Now, what they fail to mention is 9 out of 10 times, I believe, that the democratic societies that fragment, they fragment because the government does not listen to the people. And then you start having the fragmentation of democratic societies. You start having, your political parties. Perfect example. In the government, the whole government they just cannot seem to listen to everybody and try to do what's best for everybody. You got a political party, one or the other, and they're only going to listen to one or the other. They don't care what the other side has to say. And people wonder why democratic societies fragment, why we have civil wars within countries. Well, that's why. Trade and deglobalization. Now, that's kind of a funny one, considering that most of the people that I have seen in past years that have went to these Bilderberg meetings, the Bilderberg Group meetings, most of them are known globalists. They want nothing more than to see one worldwide government. the world be one government. And so to read this, trade and deglobalization as being the 13th topic for discussion this year. That's just crazy and trade, they're, everybody's freaking out about, how do we, with Russia and the Ukraine, we can't trade over in that area. Well, we'll figure it out. And that's just something we're going to have to get around. Now, I will say this, that we do need to figure out how to solve our issues without going straight into war. That I will say. And then the 14th topic for discussion this year is the Ukraine. Well, Ukraine and Russia. We got the war going on in the Ukraine and Russia. So now I'm going to go up here to the participants for this year. Now, once again, I am probably going to butcher some of these names. And if I do, I am completely sorry. Please, forgive me. But here we go. List of participants 2022. Paul M. Ackleitner. He's the former chairman and supervisory board of Dutch Bank AG. And he is the treasurer of the Bilderberg meetings. Okay, and he's Dutch. Next, the USA. Adwale Adeyemo. He's the deputy secretary of the Department of Treasury. Oh, we got the banks there. From Spain, Jose Manuel Alvarez. He's the Minister of Foreign Affairs, European Union, and Cooperation. From the USA, Roger C. Altman, founder and senior chairman of Evercore Inc. Okay, now here's another one. Sam Altman, from the USA, CEO of OpenAI. From the USA also, Anne Applebaum, staff writer of The Atlantic. And Puerto Rico, I believe, is this one. Jose Luis Arnott. He's a managing partner of CMS RUI Pena and Arnott. So it's going to be a law firm, I'm going to assume. I'm not sure. Don't take my word for it. Denmark. Ida Auken, Member of Parliament, the Social Democratic Party. And I'm not sure this one. Audrey Azoulay, Director General UNESCO. Another American, James H. Baker, Director, Office of Net Assessment, Office of the Secretary of Defense. So we got some people in high places here. Also high places in their governments. From France, Patricia Barbizet, I'm going to say Barbizet. Chairwoman and CEO of Tamaris and Associates SAS. From Puerto Rico, Jose Manuel Barroso, Chairman of Goldman Sachs International LLC. Goldman Sachs. And if you go and look at some of the past years as well, Goldman Sachs has come up quite a few times. So let's get right back to this. Where was we? There we go. From France, Valerie Baudson, the CEO of Amundi. From, I'm not sure where that is, Ben Van Barden, CEO of Shell PLC. I think it might be the Netherlands. From the USA, Albert Bourla, Chairman and CEO of Pfizer Incorporated. Look at that. We're getting some big pharma in there. Okay, from France, Thomas Boubery, CEO of AXA SA. Not sure what that is, but listen to this right here. From the United States of America, William J. Burns, Director of the CIA. Now, isn't that just special? From Ireland, Thomas Byrne, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. From the USA, Kurt Campbell, White House Coordinator for Indo-Pacific NSC. And then from Canada, Mark J. Carney, Vice Chair, Brookfield Assessment Management, or Brookfield Asset Management, I'm sorry. From Spain, Pablo Casado, former President, Partido Popular, so Popular Party. I don't know if that's actually what that means, but it sounds good because I don't speak Spanish. From the United States, Tarun Chabra, Senior Director for Technology and National Security of the National Security Council. You guys starting to see a pattern here. From Ireland, Pascal Donohoe, Minister of Finance, President of Eurogroup. All right, Matthias Döpfner, Chairman and CEO of Axel Springer SE. From the good old US of A, William C. Dudley, Senior Research Scholar, Princeton University. Another one from the good old US of A, Jan Easterly, Director of Cybersecurity and Infrastructure of the Security Agency. Another one from the good old US of A, Elizabeth Economy. That's funny. Senior Advisor for China and Department of Commerce. From France, Bernard Emie, spelled E-M-I-E with them little funny things over the top of them, the E's. So I probably pronounced that all wrong. Director General, Ministry of the Armed Forces. From Canada, Charles Imond, CEO of CDPQ. That's a mouthful. Now I believe this is Turkey. Emre Erdogan, Professor of Political Science, Istanbul Bilgi University. Norway, Øyvind Eriksen, President and CEO of Aker ASA. Sergio Ermati, Chairman of Swiss RE. Yahya Fanusi, Adjunct Senior Fellow, Center for the New American Security. Here's an Italian. We haven't seen one of those yet. Stefano Feltri, Editor-in-Chief of Domini. Great Britain. Oh, we've seen some from Ireland. This is the first known as Great Britain. Jeremy Fleming, Director of British Government Communications Headquarters. Another one from Canada. Chrystia Freeland, Deputy Prime Minister. Another from Puerto Rico. Isabel Furtado, CEO of TMG Automotive. Another from Great Britain. Michael Gove, Secretary of State for Leveling Up Cabinet Office. Victor Halderstad, Co-Chair of the Bilderberg Meetings, Professor of Economics, Leiden University. Lena Hallengren from Sweden, Minister of Health and Social Affairs. All right, guys, here's the thing. Are we starting to see a pattern here? We have a bunch of people that really don't give a damn about us, the populace. They don't give a damn about the normal person, the working man, or any regular citizen. If you're not in the government or not in some position like a government official, whether it be elected or hired, they don't give a damn. Probably don't even give a damn about those hired. I mean, let's just call it what it is. What do you think about having all these people that have nothing in common with you sitting here discussing this stuff? Because they're not just going to discuss it just to discuss it. They're going to discuss it because they want control, and they're going to do something about it. I mean, let's just be real about it, guys. They are discussing our next year, how we're going to turn out for the next year for us. They are making all the decisions for us. And I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I'm not happy about that. And I don't like that either. And I hope you guys don't like it. If you do, that's great. If you don't, you should question it. You should very much so sit here and question, why is it that I've got 120 to 150 people, which I did not read all of them, I just read the top ones. Why should they be making decisions for my life? Why should they be making decisions for your life? They shouldn't. Get on bilderbergmeetings.org. You can see everything. They don't even hide the shit anymore. They don't even hide it anymore. Used to, it was hidden. The only way people knew about it was when it was happening and if they stumbled across it. But they don't even try. They don't even care to try to hide it. You know why? Because they're not afraid anymore. They are not afraid anymore. And this isn't just an American thing, guys. This is Canada. This is everywhere. Every citizen on this planet should be worried about this. Every one of us should be worried about this. They lie to us. Our government. All of our governments. I'm sorry, it sounds like I'm ranting here, but every year when this time rolls around, I get a little bit weirded out. I get a little bit irritated. I get a little bit wired because I don't like the thought of 120 people running everything for all of us. We deserve better than that. Everybody thinks our governments have control. No, sir. No, ma'am. It's such a small number of people. If I had to guess, I would say the number of people that actually have complete and utter control, probably in the neighborhood of just a few thousand, have complete control and run this show. That's why governments can't seem to get anything done, because they're bought and paid for. Elections aren't elections. Elections are selections, guys. And if we can't see that, they only put the candidates up there that are, going to get the best votes. That's it. They don't put candidates up there that really give us a choice. They put and the candidates, whether it be Democrat or Republican in America or whatever they call it in other countries, they're all picked too. You go back and look, just about every president since 1954 has been to one of those Bilderberg meetings. They're selected. Guys, it's scary stuff here. Together, I like to think of myself as a long-term optimist. And I think that together we can continue to have the discussion and get it out there. I really do believe we can. And I believe we need to. Because now they're not even trying to hide it, so they're not scared. So why don't we show them who we are? We show them that the masses, we can take control. We can take back our freedom here in America, up in Canada, take our freedom and show them who actually is in control. We don't have to let them rule us. We don't have to let a small number of people make all the decisions for everybody on this planet. And guys, if you like today's video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share this with your friends. Get us to 100 subscribers. We're going to have that AMA, live stream AMA. And then, but more importantly, share this with people. Let them know what's going on. Tell them, Bilderbergmeetings.org. Go do the research. Look at it. I'm not just making crap up. I'm not, maybe I am crazy, but no. Check it out yourselves, guys. You know, do me a favor, guys. Love yourselves. Love each other. Peace out.